Former governor of Osun State and interim national chairman of the All Progressives Congress (APC) Chief Bisi Akande has accused the General Muhammadu Buhari-led military regime of employing double standards in treatment of political detainees after the December 31st, 1983 military coup. According to him, Southern and Christian political leaders got a raw deal compared to their Northern and Muslim counterparts during the regime's onslaught against politicians in 1984 in the guise of fighting graft. Writing in my participations is 557-page autobiography, which was launched last week. Chief Akande, who recalled his ordeals in various detention centers from Ibadan to Bonny Camp and Kirikiri prison, said the maltreatment of detained Southern and Christian political leaders was palpable. For instance, of the 19 states of the country at the time, only the deputy governor of Oyo State were tried, and while Vice President Alex Ekweme was hauled into prison. President Shehu Shagari was detained at a comfortable federal government house in Ikoyi. In his words, the roll call at Bonny Camp was who in the defunct Second Republic. There I met former governors Ige of Oyo, Adekunle Ajasin of Ondo, Bisi Onabanjo of Ogun, Ambrose Ali of Bende, Lateef Jakande of Lagos, Adamu Hátr of Kwara, Jim Nwodo of Anambra, Sam Mbakwe of Imo, Medford Okilo of Rivers, and Clement Isong of Cross River. Also with us at Bonny Camp were S.M. Afolabi, my predecessor as deputy governor, who served briefly as President Shagari's Minister of Education, and Chief Ogedengbe, another former minister from Ondo State. I felt strangely discriminated against among them, all because I did not meet any other deputy governor apart from Chief Afolabi. In 1984, there were 19 states in Nigeria, 10 from the north and the 9 from the south. I ruminated and asked myself, why was Oyo State being singled out for maltreatment of deputy governors? I concluded that the ways of the military had no rhyme or reason. One day, former Vice President Alex Ekweme joined us in Kirikiri. He appeared visibly perplexed, shaking with emotion, and he wept bitterly as he was shoved into his cell on a floor. Unlike the Vice President, President Shagari was being detained in a luxurious federal government guest house in Ikoyi. There was a sudden pall of gloom everywhere. Many of us felt sad and agitated about the humiliation being meted out to the Vice President. Thereafter, pockets of corridor talks began along the inmates. The theme all over was that there were double standards in the arrest of humiliation of politicians from the south and the north, between Christians and Muslims, with the Southerners and Christians suffering the worst treatment. Akande, who lamented how his incarceration affected his relation with his children and recognition of places, as he kept missing directions of his house in Lagos and other places, said his wife Omowumi almost died in an accident upon hearing his conviction by the military tribunal on radio. On 16th October 1984, Chief Bolaigi and I were found guilty of a 2-count charge of conspiracy and unlawful enrichment of our political conspiracy. Can you imagine? And unlawful enrichment of our political party, the UPN, by the Ibadan Special Military Tribunal. The tribunal sentenced each of us to 21 years imprisonment on each count to run concurrently. The immediate import of that judgment to me was that I was being jailed for 42 years, and that was the media headlines too. The scenario exactly resembled what I saw in my vision on that cool Saturday at my Onireke official quarters in 1981. Along with Chief Bolaigi, I was truly and finally given to prison in a police Black Maria vehicle that day. That day, my wife heard the news from her car radio while driving from work. Our trial was secret, so family members and friends were not allowed to attend. Like anyone else, my wife heard the news over the radio. She unconsciously drove into the boot of the car in front of her. but today we thank God for everything. Akande, apart from his comments that Afenifere elder Chief Ayo Adebanjo pestered former governor Bola Tinubu of Lagos to build a house for him, said that Adebanjo's inability to differentiate Afenifere from the Alliance for Democracy (AD) harmed Afenifere, the apex Yoruba sociocultural organization. He wrote, shortly after the Kaduna meeting, Ambassador Tanko Yusuf resigned from the chairmanship and membership of the Alliance for Democracy. Chief Ayo Adebanjo, the SY deputy chairman of the party, became the acting national chairman. Since then, it became difficult to decipher the difference between the running of Afenifere and the management of the Alliance for Democracy. Since then, the schism that dwarfed Afenifere as the organization of the apex Yoruba organizations began. Meanwhile, leader of the Pan-Yoruba Socio-Economic Group, Afenifere Chief Ayo Adebanjo, has lambasted Chief Akande over allegations levied against him in his book, My Participation. Akande, in one of the accounts in the book, Akande claimed that Adebanjo pestered Bola Tinubu to build a house for him. However, Adebanjo, in an interview on Arise TV, denied the allegations. He claimed that Akande was lying and selling Buhari'S in a bid to ensure Tinubu emerges as president in 2023. Adebanjo said, Bisi Akande is too junior to me to be commenting on political matters. He is a political neophyte. He is already known to me as a pathological liar. His colleague Akinfenwa, in his book, said that who he is, and those of us who know him also know he's just an apron string of Tinubu. He's too junior for me to be commenting on what he said. I signed his papers to be governor. And the condition we gave for him to become governor was that of sovereign national conference for the restructuring of the country back to federalism. That was the condition he was elected in 1999, and he reneged on that. We called on them, Bola Tinubu, Segun Oshoba, to warn them when they reneged. They have sold out the Yoruba race to Muhammadu Buhari, all because they want Tinubu to be president. That is not my business. But telling lies is the one I don't even know, and I don't know how a man like Akande, who claims that we all came from the roots of Obafemi Awolowo, can be taking pride in his participation in the government of Buhari, who they know is a disaster, when all those who supported him initially are now regretting that they supported him. There's no sensible man who will come out now and say he is proud of Buhari. It shows the type of character he is. So he's just too junior for me to be commenting on what he said. On allegation that he pestered Tinubu to build his Lekki house, Adebanjo said he won't join issues with Akande, who he accused of playing cheap politics. Adebanjo, who promised to give a comprehensive response to Akande's allegation, said, I don't want to be part of the policies he's trying to play. I will address the media soon and provide pictures and give details of the number of houses I sold before I built my Lekki house. I will show you the photographs of the contractors who worked in the house. Meanwhile, Adebanjo agreed with Akande that former President Olusegun Obasanjo asked questions to answer over the failure to unravel the assassination of former Oyo State Governor, Attorney General of the Federation, and Justice Minister Chief Bola Ige. According to Adebanjo, Obasanjo has a lot of questions to answer over the failure of the assassination of former Oyo State Governor Chief Bola Ige. According to Adebanjo, Obasanjo has a lot of questions to answer over the death of Ige, adding that a lot of questionable deaths happened during the regime of Obasanjo. There's no doubt that Obasanjo's government cannot claim innocence about the death of Bola Ige. Nobody is disputing that, and as far as we are concerned, he has a lot of questions to answer, because I don't even understand how the chief legal officer of the state, with security people guiding him every time we have security, leave him as at the time the assassins came, claiming they went to eat the Afenifere leader said. To be candid, a lot of questionable deaths happened during the regime of Obasanjo. On that score, I think there's a point for Obasanjo's government to answer. I don't understand this Akande. He's just talking blah 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 blah. So all of these things happened, and yet you guys went to go and push again, supporting Buhari. Now, because a Buhari's tenure is going out now, that is when you now know that you want to write a whatever. I don't know whether you guys have noticed that man. Anytime, most of the pictures, he just be laughing. He just open his mouth like he just be. This man is always smiling. Whether laughing or even anywhere, go and check. That's what he will just be smiling. Say, what is wrong with this man? I don't know. That's something is really wrong. He will just even when there's not serious thing, he will just be opening his mouth and be laughing. I say, this man is always excited every time. Well, so if this man, the only thing I can say with all these things that he has said that Buhari did, and those were the things that people were complaining, and they said, oh, it's a change Democrat, is this and this and this and that, and that is what we are seeing now. Now they want to push Tinubu again with all the things that people even know. They want to push Tinubu again before everybody will now be complaining. See, the Londoners now, they are not crying that Tinubu Buhari wept, he did this and that, he begged them to come and become president. They gave him opportunity now, but see what he's doing. See Akande, see what he's talking about. You knew all of this, and yet you came out and you said he's the best person. It's unfortunate. That's why these people cannot be. If you are taking all these politicians seriously, you are doing yourself. The other day, Tinubu said, "Oh, voting for Buhari is a disaster. That is a agent of distraction or whatever." Before now, but 2015, because of their own selfish reasons, they went to bring him. Now, disaster is happening now. All of them are feeling ignorance. They don't want to say anything. So, guys, let's say your opinion and have your take on this. Thank you.